We begin today's celebration of Guru Purnima with the recitation of the primordial sounds of the total potential of natural law, the sounds of Rig Ved, Sam Ved, Yajur Ved, and Atar Ved. These are the sounds of the functioning constitution of creation, which illustrates how the self-referral state of pure intelligence evolves creation from within its unmanifest singularity, and how systematically it is organized from within itself so that the infinite diversity of the universe is sustained in a unified state of absolute order and harmony. So we'll begin with recitation of Rik, Sam, Yajur, and Atar Ved, and then all will do puja with proper pronunciation. So the whole house will be ringing with the mantras of puja. But first listen to the four aspects of the Ved. Jai Gurudev.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Vaso Rudra Purumanto Vrthanta Dashasyatam No Vrishana Vabhishto Dasra Hayadrekna Aujathya Vam Prayatsasrathe Akavabhiruti Govandashatsu Mataye Chidasyeva Suyadhe The Namasa Padego Jigratamastme Revatih Purandhih Kavaprene Vamanasacharanta Yukto Hayadvanto Griyaya Perurvimadhye Annasothayi Pajraha Upavamavasharanangameyam Shuro Najma Patayadbhirevehi Upastutirau Chathyamurushyen Mama Vime Patatrini Vidugdham Mama Metho Dashatayashchito Dhak Prayadvam Baddhasmanikhadattiksham Namagaran Hadyo Matrutamadasayadim Susamubdhamavadhu Shiro Yadasya Traitano Vitakshat Swayam Dasa Uro Amsavapigdha Dirghadamamateyo Jujurvan Dashame Yuge Apamarthayatinam Brahma Bhavati Sarathihi Harihi Om.
तदा 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 यद्रवर्जः तदा यत्र जयः तदा यद्रज्यो तदा सोमा वृषणा ओरमेरासि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे देशवाहा वृषणा ओरमेरासि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयी देहि वरेखसेनो श्री राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे देहि स्वाहा वरेखसेनो श्रीराष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि देयझरते तस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तसवाहार्थे तस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तौजसवतीयस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तसवाहौजसवतीयस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तापा परिवाहिणीयस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तसवापा परिवाहिणीयस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तां पतिरसि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे देशवाहा पांगर्भोरसि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि देशपांगर्भोसि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे देहि स्वाहा पांगर्भोसि राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि देहि दूर्जत्वचस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा सूर्जत्वचस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्त सूर्यवर्चस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा सूर्यवर्चस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तवृन्दास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा वृन्दास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तव्रजक्षितस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा व्रजक्षितस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तवाचास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा वाचास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तशविष्ठास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा शविष्ठास्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तशकवर्यस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा शकवर्यस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तजनभृतस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा जनभृतस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्तविषवभृतस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रं मे दत्तस्वाहा विषवभृतस्थ राष्ट्रदा राष्ट्रमुखमयि दत्त हरि ओम
अभायं द्यावा पृथिवी इहास्तु नो भायं सोमस्सविता नः कृणोतु अभायन्नोस्तूर्वा अन्तरिक्षं सप्तर्षीणां च हविषा भायन्नो अस्तु अस्मै ग्रामाय प्रदिशश्च तस्र ऊर्जं सुभूतं स्वस्ति सविता नः कृणोतु अशत्रुन्द्रो अभायन्नः कृणोत्वन्यत्र राज्ञामभियातु मन्युः अनमित्रन्न अधरादानमित्रन्न उत्तारात् इन्द्रानमित्रन्न पश्चादानमित्रं पुरस्कृधे ॐ
जय गुरुदेव। We'll do puja to Gurudev. All will join me. Remain sitting where you are. Start to say with me all the puja. Apavitra, pavitro va, sarvavasangato va, yasmare pundarikaksham, sabaya abhyantara shuchi, avahanam. नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मा पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं त्रोटकं वातिककारमण्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। निखिलानिलिम्पपरिषत् सिद्धिं विधत्ते निशं श्रीमत्श्रीलसितं जगद्गुरुपदं नत्वात्मतृप्तिं गताः लोकाज्ञानपयोदपाटलधुरं श्रीशङ्करं शर्मदं ब्रह्मानंद सरस्वती गुरुवरं ध्यायामि ज्योतिर्मयम् आवाहनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। स्नानं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। वस्त्रं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। चन्दनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। अक्षतान् समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। धूपं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। दीपं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। श्रीफलं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। श्रीफलम् आरार्तिक्यं कर्पूरगौरं संसारसारं वेदहारं सदा वसन्तं अरविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। आरार्तिक्यं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। आनन्दमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परं सुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं विश्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षीभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणसहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अंजलिं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। जय गुरुदेव। Have an enlivened totality of pure knowledge in the puja to Gurudev today. We want to bask in the ways of puja during the past 37 years. Want to enliven our memory with what we have been purifying ourselves year after year, year after year. Dedicating to Gurudev our achievement of the year and having basked in the memory of the past, we will set ourselves on what to do now for all future of the world. Want to hear the memories of 37 years.
Jai Gurudev. Dr. Mike Tompkins, who is the vice presidential candidate of the Natural Law Party of the United States during the 1992 federal elections, the deputy director of the Institute of Science, Technology and Public Policy at Maharishi International University, and great leader of Thousand-Headed Purusha for North America, will now present the highlights of 37 years of achievements of Maharishi's worldwide transcendental meditation movement. Dr. Mike Tompkins.
Jai Gurudev. Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation Movement, yearly achievements of 37 years. In 1957, Maharishi's year of Transcendental Meditation, the year of Transcendental Consciousness, Turiya Chetna. Maharishi evolves a simple, natural practice, transcendental meditation, for the mind to come to a balanced state, quiet wakefulness, transcendental consciousness, and gain the ability to spontaneously function in accordance with all the laws of nature. This was the year of the revival of the philosophy and practice of yoga. Maharishi's transcendental meditation revived yoga for its original dignity and effectiveness. This was the year of revival of Vedic wisdom for perfection in life. 1958, Maharishi's year of spiritual regeneration movement. Inspired to raise the quality of life in the world through the practice of transcendental meditation, Maharishi inaugurates the spiritual regeneration movement to spiritually regenerate mankind. 1959, Maharishi's year of global awakening. Maharishi starts to teach transcendental meditation around the world. 1960, Maharishi's year of cosmic consciousness, Turiya Chetna. Maharishi explains cosmic consciousness rising through the daily practice of transcendental meditation, the influence of transcendental consciousness on the waking, dreaming, and sleeping states of consciousness. In London, Maharishi inaugurates his first 3-year plan to spiritually regenerate the world. 1961, Maharishi's year of teacher training. Maharishi's inspiration to multiply himself by training teachers of transcendental meditation. First international course held in Rishikesh, India. 1962, Maharishi's year of theory of the absolute. Maharishi brings to light his theory of the absolute, and Maharishi trains hundreds of teachers of transcendental meditation in different countries to bring the direct experience of the absolute, transcendental consciousness, to people everywhere. 1963, Maharishi's year of the science of being and art of living. In his book, The Science of Being and Art of Living, Maharishi presents a profound and practical philosophy of living enlightenment in daily life through the practice of transcendental meditation. 1964, Maharishi's year of God consciousness, Bhagavad Chetna. Maharishi explains experiences of transcendental meditation in terms of transcendental consciousness, cosmic consciousness, and the most refined state of cosmic consciousness, God consciousness. 1965, Maharishi's year of Bhagavad Gita. Maharishi explains experiences of transcendental meditation in terms of the principle of action, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Yogastha Kuru Karmani, established in unity, perform action, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3 and chapter 2, verse 48, and completes his commentary on the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. 1966, Maharishi's year of Academy of Meditation. In the year of the great Kumbh Mela in Allahabad, Maharishi inaugurates the first International Academy of Meditation in Shankaracharya Nagar, Rishikesh, India, with the International Transcendental Meditation Teacher Training Course. 1967, Maharishi's Year of Unity Consciousness. Maharishi explains experiences of transcendental meditation in terms of transcendental consciousness, cosmic consciousness, God consciousness, and unity consciousness, Brahmi Chetana. Maharishi inaugurates the first European Meditation Academy in Bremen, Germany. 1968, Maharishi's Year of Students. Students' International Meditation Society was founded in many countries. 1969, Maharishi's Year of Supreme Knowledge. Maharishi comments extensively on the Brahma Sutra, the textbook of Vedanta, the aspect of Vedic literature that provides complete knowledge of unity consciousness, the supreme pinnacle of living total potential of human life. 1970, Maharishi's Year of Scientific Research. First scientific research on transcendental meditation, identifying the physiological correlates of higher states of consciousness, is published. With this research, transcendental meditation gains worldwide publicity and inspires scientists throughout the world to research into the wide range of benefits resulting from transcendental meditation. 1971, Maharishi's Year of Science of Creative Intelligence. Maharishi formulates the science of creative intelligence as the scientific theory for the development of higher states of consciousness, which naturally develop through the practice of transcendental meditation. Maharishi establishes Maharishi International University, MIU, in the United States to serve as a model of ideal education in the world. Today, MIU is offering courses from kindergarten through PhD. MIU's doctoral degree programs are offered in 6 disciplines, including Maharishi's Science of Creative Intelligence. The quality of life in the campus is admired by all. 1972, Maharishi's Year of the World Plan. Having trained 2,000 teachers of his Science of Creative Intelligence, Maharishi inaugurates his World Plan to solve the age-old problems of mankind in this generation. 1973, Maharishi's Year of Action for the World Plan. More than 2,000 World Plan centers are established in all parts of the world, offering courses in Maharishi's Science of Creative Intelligence. 1974, Maharishi's Year of Achievement of the World Plan. Discovery of the Maharishi Effect. 1% of the population practicing the Transcendental Meditation program in any city reduces the crime rate, accident rate, and sickness rate. This means overall increased positivity in the trends of society due to increasing purity in the collective consciousness of the city. Through the Maharishi Effect, the goals of Maharishi's World Plan immediately become much easier to achieve. 1975, Maharishi's Year of the Dawn of the Age of Enlightenment. With the discovery of the Maharishi Effect, the profound nature of Maharishi's Science of Creative Intelligence is further validated. The Maharishi Effect demonstrates that even collective life, society, or nation can be fully developed and enriched through a fraction, 1%, of the population practicing Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation. The Maharishi Effect establishes a new formula for the creation of an ideal society, free from crime and problems. And with this, Maharishi envisions the dawn of a new age for mankind, the Age of Enlightenment. On 12 January, Maharishi inaugurates the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment for the whole world in Switzerland, and travels to all 6 continents, inaugurating the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment for the respective continents. The dawn of the Age of Enlightenment brings the first wave of fulfillment of Maharishi's World Plan on the basis of Maharishi's aspirations to create life according to the constitution of the universe. Maharishi's inauguration of the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment is well founded on his vision of the cosmic constitution of the universe in the field of transcendental consciousness. Having realized the complete reality of the constitution of the universe in transcendental consciousness and the practicality of its actualization in daily life by individuals practicing transcendental meditation, and having been convinced through scientific research that the age of ignorance can be transformed into the age of enlightenment in a very natural way. Maharishi establishes a global organization to actualize this transformation. Maharishi conceives of the world government of the age of enlightenment, with authority in the invincible, evolutionary power of natural law. Maharishi establishes Maharishi European Research University, MERU, in Salisbury, Switzerland, to monitor the rise of the Age of Enlightenment in all parts of the world and to investigate the full range of possibilities inherent in human consciousness. 1976, Maharishi's Year of Government. Maharishi inaugurates the world government of the Age of Enlightenment, a non-political, non-religious global organization with sovereignty in the domain of consciousness, authority in the invincible power of natural law, and activity in purifying world consciousness, with the participation of the people of over 120 countries and 1,200 capitals of the Age of Enlightenment around the world. Maharishi introduces the TM City program and starts to train governors of the Age of Enlightenment to function from the unified field of all the laws of nature to purify world consciousness. This is the start of a new theme of action, an ideal path of performance, following the principle of least action, Vedic action, which upholds all activity in nature from that level of intelligence which is eternal silence, the lively potential of infinite dynamism, the basis of all activity in nature. This is Maharishi's principle of do less and accomplish more, through the help of natural law. This is the Vedic principle of action, Nishkam Karma Yoga, Yogastha Karu Karmani, Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 and chapter 2 verse 48, which has been revived in its true sense after thousands of years. The TM City program, leading to yogic flying, is the revival of the theoretical and practical knowledge of yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, after thousands of years. It needed a scientific age for the world to appreciate the significance of the philosophy of yoga and its practical application in creating integrated individuals, integrated nations, and an integrated world family. Yoga means union, the union of the individual awareness with the unified field of all the laws of nature, in the state of transcendental consciousness. Yogic flying demonstrates the ability of the individual to act from the level of transcendental consciousness, the unified field, and enliven the total potential of natural law in all its expressions, mind, body, behavior, and environment. Yogic flying presents in miniature the flight of galaxies in space, all unified in perfect order by natural law. The mind-body coordination displayed by yogic flying shows that consciousness and its expression, the physiology, are in perfect balance. Scientific research has found maximum coherence in human brain functioning during yogic flying. As the coherently functioning human brain is the unit of world peace, yogic flying is the mechanics to make world peace a reality, and thereby bring world health, world happiness, world prosperity, a world free from suffering, heaven on earth, in this generation. This offers a new theme to life on earth, life naturally progressing in the evolutionary direction without stress, strain, and fatigue, through alliance with the total potential of natural law. 1977, Maharishi's Year of Ideal Society. Having inaugurated the world government of the Age of Enlightenment, Maharishi initiates the global performance of the world government and inaugurates the Ideal Society campaign in 108 countries. Scientific research verifies the results of this campaign, the decrease of negative trends, reduced crime rate, etc., and increase of positive trends in society. Individuals meditate, individual life improves, society as a whole improves. Having proved that the Transcendental Meditation and TM City program produces the same beneficial effect throughout society, in every country, irrespective of differences in climate and culture, and having proved that individuals improve the quality of their life and simultaneously the quality of society, Maharishi's design of principles and programs to transform the world is confirmed. It is confirmed that Maharishi's Transcendental Meditation movement, continuing in the world, will create an ideal civilization. The constitution of the universe practiced in the world will achieve the laudable goals of the world government of the Age of Enlightenment, and every government in the world, adopting this procedure of administration through natural law, will achieve the laudable goals of its constitution. This will speed up the process of the world's transformation into a perfect society. 1978, Maharishi's year of invincibility to every nation. Discovery of the extended Maharishi effect, the square root of 1% of the population practicing the Transcendental Meditation and TM City program together in one place, produces coherence in collective consciousness, promoting positive and progressive trends in society. Having proved the reliability of the Maharishi effect, irrespective of cultural differences in the world, as a scientist, Maharishi proceeds to measure the invincibility of the Maharishi effect. Maharishi tests this formula by sending governors of the Age of Enlightenment to the most troubled spots on earth, Iran, Rhodesia, Nicaragua, to create the Maharishi effect and calm down violence and turbulence. Again, scientific research validates the success of this program. Maharishi celebrates the rise of global coherence and proclaims invincibility to every nation. 1979, Maharishi's year of all possibilities. Maharishi proclaims all possibilities for mankind through his science of creative intelligence, the science of consciousness, and celebrates the upsurge of the organizing power of nature in world consciousness. First annual World Peace Assembly of Governors of the Age of Enlightenment is held in the United States to create coherence in national and world consciousness. 1980, Maharishi's year of pure knowledge, the Veda. Maharishi celebrates the upsurge of pure knowledge in world consciousness and reveals the nature of the Veda in terms of the spontaneous, sequential flow of the eternal self-referral state of consciousness at the transcendental self-referral basis of creation. Maharishi brings to light his timeless commentary on Rig Veda, the Aparishaya Bhashya, which explains that total knowledge, Samhita of Rishi, Devata, and Chandas, and its infinite organizing power, is completely contained, expressed, and demonstrated in the sequential unfoldment of the text of Rig Veda. The orderly sequential unfoldment of Rig Veda is available to anyone at any time, intellectually in Maharishi's Aparishaya Bhashya, and experientially in one's own transcendental consciousness through Maharishi's transcendental meditation. Maharishi's Aparishaya Bhashya of Rig Veda explains that the Veda is its own complete commentary. Veda is the structure of complete knowledge. It is so complete that nothing is out of it. Complete knowledge, complete organizing power, the whole universe is contained within the Veda. Veda is the structure of consciousness, which is life eternal. Veda is structured in consciousness. Rig Veda Samhita expresses the holistic structure of self-referral consciousness, and the entire Vedic literature presents the structuring mechanics involved in the sequential unfoldment of Rig Veda. Every aspect of the Vedic literature expresses different qualities of consciousness contained within the holistic quality of consciousness available within Rig Veda. The 10 mandals of Rig Veda are available in the first mandal. The first mandal is available in the first sukt. The 9 richas of the first sukt are contained in the first richa. The 3 pad of the first richa are contained in the first pad. The 8 syllables of the first pad are contained in the first syllable, ak. Ak is available in a. A is the expression of the holistic value of speech, which is available in the Atma, the self of everyone. Maharishi's Aparishaya Bhashya of Rig Veda is just the pure expression of complete knowledge, absolutely intimate to the spontaneous blossoming of the Veda in its own sequentially unfolding structure, and intimate to the blossoming of the universe within the Veda, which is the eternal reality of the internal dynamism of everyone's self-referral consciousness. 1981, Maharishi's year of Vedic science. Maharishi celebrates the Veda as the fountainhead of all knowledge and all activity in the universe. Maharishi conducts the first international Vedic science course in New Delhi. And with the quiet performance of the International Assembly of 3,000 governors of the Age of Enlightenment practicing his Vedic technology, yogic flying, calms down the growing violent tendencies in India, demonstrating the rise of Sat, balance in nature. 1982, Maharishi Year of Natural Law. Maharishi inaugurates Maharishi University of Natural Law in England, with the goal of establishing 1,008 colleges of natural law for the whole world. 1983, Maharishi's Year of the Unified Field. Quantum field theories of modern physics glimpse the unified field of all the laws of nature. Maharishi recognizes the self-referral unified field of natural law in terms of self-referral transcendental consciousness, one unbounded ocean of consciousness, fully awake within itself, in its eternal unity, which is pure knowledge, the Ved, Rik Ved, Samhita, unified value of Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. Maharishi interprets the unified field in terms of pure knowledge and its infinite organizing power, which is available for its theoretical value in the Vedic literature, and for its practical value, it is available to direct experience through the Transcendental Meditation program. The qualities of the unified field, as derived from the Lagrangian mathematical description of the unified field, are found to be developing in the individual through the regular practice of Transcendental Meditation. Commencement of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Maharishi's worldwide Transcendental Meditation movement. Maharishi celebrates the rising sunshine of the Age of Enlightenment throughout the world. 7,000 yogic flyers, experts in the Maharishi technology of the unified field, gather at Maharishi International University, Fairfield, Iowa, USA, to create the first global Maharishi effect throughout the world, a strong influence of harmony and positivity in world consciousness, described by the MIU family as the first taste of utopia. During the 3-week period of this 7,000 World Peace Assembly, the rise of positive trends throughout the world are well documented by scientific research and by the world press. This worldwide positivity, created by the 7,000 Assembly, gives a profound basis for the expectation that a permanent setup of 7,000 yogic flyers anywhere in the world will have a chance for creating a problem-free world from one place on Earth. 1984, Maharishi's Year of Unified Field-Based Civilization. Inspired by the global taste of utopia, Maharishi begins to establish the irreversibility of the global Maharishi effect for maintaining coherence in world consciousness for all time through the power of pure knowledge, which is endowed with the infinite organizing power of natural law. Maharishi formulates his unified field-based integrated systems of education, health, government, economics, defense, rehabilitation, and agriculture, which will perpetuate the forthcoming unified field-based ideal civilization, Samhita-based civilization, Vedic civilization. A wave of inspiration throughout the world to create groups of 7,000 yogic flyers, experts in the Maharishi technology of the unified field, in each continent. 1985, Maharishi's Year of Unified Field-Based Education. Maharishi inaugurates the idea of Vedic University in Washington, D.C., USA, to offer complete knowledge and create perfection in the field of education through unified field-based education, consciousness-based education, pure knowledge-based education, Vedic education. Maharishi formulates a perfect system of education based on consciousness, which is the most fundamental element in nature, and brings to light the ancient traditional Vedic literature as the complete literature of consciousness. Maharishi formulates his Vedic science and technology on the basis of the experiences of transcendental meditation, unity consciousness, and the Vedic literature, and categorizes different aspects of the traditional Vedic literature as the different disciplines of his Vedic science and technology. Maharishi starts to structure courses on Vedic science and technology for all levels of education in order to develop higher states of consciousness in every student and thereby create a perfect man and an ideal society. Together with the world's leading experts in Ayurveda, Dr. V.M. Dwivedi, Dr. B.D. Triguna, and Dr. Balraj Maharishi. Maharishi restores Ayurveda in its completeness and establishes Maharishi Ayurveda prevention centers throughout the world to prevent sickness, preserve health, and promote longevity on the individual and collective levels. Maharishi creates Ved Lila, the play of the Ved, which explains and displays the mechanics of creation, mechanics of transformation of consciousness from its unified holistic quality to its innumerable qualities. Maharishi's Ved Lila reveals how the whole universe emerges from the state of pure knowledge, the Ved, Samhita of Rishi, Devata, and Chandas. The dynamics of intelligence are displayed and demonstrated in the structure of Rig Veda. They are expanded in the Vedic literature, and they are finally expressed in the ever-expanding universe. Maharishi's Ved Lila is the one expression of the entire course of knowledge, from unity to diversity, from unmanifest to manifest. It tells the whole story of how the individual breathes cosmic life, and how the ever-evolving individual is the replica of the ever-expanding universe. It explains how microcosm is macrocosm. It explains how infinity is lively within a point. It explains how immortality is the reality of change. It presents the structure of total knowledge. Maharishi establishes the self-sufficient structure of the Maharishi continental capitals of the Age of Enlightenment. 1986, Maharishi's Year of Perfect Health. Maharishi inaugurates his world plan for perfect health to create a disease-free society and self-sufficiency in healthcare for every nation through Maharishi Ayurveda. The 20 approaches of Maharishi Ayurveda present the total science of life, the science of lifespan, and practically demonstrate how the performance of all the laws of nature is always maintained in complete alliance with natural law, how short lifespans are transformed into long lifespans, how skillfully natural law maintains balance between change and non-change, the secrets of evolution and skillful prevention of suffering. Maharishi Ayurveda offers perfect health and long life through enlightenment, life in accordance with natural law, just by handling daily and seasonal routines of life. Maharishi inaugurates his global campaign to create a disease-free society. Maharishi Amrit Kalash, the nectar of immortality, is offered to the whole world. Maharishi's program to create world peace is inaugurated, calling for the training of 7,000 Vedic scientists at Maharishi Nagar in India to create and maintain world peace. Maharishi's program to create world peace is inaugurated in over 1,000 cities in 108 countries with the demonstration of yogic flying, the mechanics to create coherence in world consciousness. The first annual yogic flying competitions are held around the world to celebrate Maharishi's program to create world peace. 1987, Maharishi's Year of World Peace. Maharishi begins training Vedic scientists to create and maintain world peace at the world capital of the Age of Enlightenment in Maharishi Nagar, India. Maharishi develops a core course of his Vedic science for ideal education. Maharishi discovers the lost 21 Samhitas of Rig Veda in the Shakal Samhita. Maharishi inaugurates a global festival of music for world peace, which is held in over 200 cities in 52 countries, and presents to the world Gandharva Veda music, a precious discipline of Maharishi's Vedic science for creating balance in nature through Vedic melody, the melody of nature. 1988, Maharishi's Year of Achieving World Peace. On 12 January, Maharishi celebrates World Peace Day and inaugurates his master plan to create heaven on earth through his Vedic science and technology. Maharishi Heaven on Earth Development Corporation is established in many countries to accomplish Maharishi's master plan to create heaven on earth. Rise of the global Maharishi effect creates such an indomitable influence of harmony and peace that it melts the enmity of the superpowers and creates an atmosphere of friendliness throughout the world. Long-awaited peace treaties between warring nations are signed, and the world press celebrates the dawn of world peace. The significance of Maharishi's global inauguration of the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment becomes apparent as every wave of good news heralds world peace around the world. 1989, Maharishi's Year of Heaven on Earth. On the ground of the global Maharishi effect, creating the dawn of world peace in 1988, Maharishi initiates the second step, eradication of poverty throughout the world, and achievement of the supreme goal of an affluent society, heaven on earth. Maharishi's theme of life according to natural law paves the way for the reconstruction of the whole world, inner and outer. Maharishi's theme of creating Vedic universities in different countries with the goal to bring life in accordance with natural law through the knowledge and experience of consciousness as available in the Ved and Vedic literature. Maharishi's Vedic science for everyone to enjoy the fruit of all knowledge, mistake-free daily life of everyone, problem-free society. Maharishi Ayurveda for perfect health, Maharishi Gandharveda for world harmony, Maharishi Yoga for enlightenment and perfection in the daily life of everyone, Maharishi Yagya for prevention, averting the danger that has not yet come, victory before war, Maharishi Dhanurveda for irresistibly penetrating the target to achieve the desired goal, Maharishi Sthapatyaveda to awaken and enliven consciousness, enliven intelligence in the structure of inert matter, enliven the energy of cosmic intelligence in every material structure, enliven the whole in every part, raise every aspect of life to perfection, and render every aspect of living in the evolutionary direction of cosmic life. All these previous disciplines, all these precious disciplines of Maharishi's Vedic science will render life in the evolutionary direction of natural law and provide a stable basis for the creation of heaven on earth. Maharishi's Global Green Revolution, Maharishi's Global Rural Development, Maharishi's Global Urban Renewal, creation of a post-industrial era, the era of pollution-free environment and disease-free, stress-free, problem-free society through alliance with the evolutionary power of natural law. Maharishi's program to create heaven on earth in its third and final step will achieve the goal of an affluent society, 24-hour bliss for all mankind. 1990, Maharishi's Year of Alliance with Nature's Government. Maharishi offers alliance with nature's government to every nation. Maharishi introduces the knowledge of natural law for perfection in every profession. Maharishi offers his solution to the Persian Gulf crisis and his program to create permanent world peace in global announcements and interviews with the world press. 1991, Maharishi's Year of Support of Nature's Government. Maharishi outlines his program to create crime-free national capital cities so that every government will make positive, life-supporting decisions in a peaceful atmosphere. Maharishi invites the U.S. government to move from the crime-ridden atmosphere of Washington, D.C. to Fairfield, Iowa, the hometown of Maharishi International University, which is known to be the most coherent, peaceful area in the United States. Maharishi launches a program to establish Maharishi Ayurveda health centers in every community. Maharishi inaugurates his action plan, global action plan to create heaven on earth, with different angles in different countries. The main angles are education, health, and economic development. On the last day of the Year of Support of Nature's Government, Maharishi announces the establishment of the world's first group of 7,000 yogic flyers in the world capital of the Age of Enlightenment in Maharishi Nagar, India. Maharishi's Constitution of the Universe, the source of all order and harmony displayed in the universe, based on his Aparishaya Bhashya of Rig Veda, is verified by the superstring theory of the unified field. Maharishi invites all governments to make use of this constitution of the universe in order to raise the dignity of their man-made constitutions to the supreme dignity of the constitution of the universe, and make their administrations as efficient and effective as the government of nature. 1992, Maharishi's Year of the Constitution of the Universe. During the first quarter of this year, Maharishi Vedic University is inaugurated in 10 countries to teach Maharishi's Vedic science and technology. The International Council of Maharishi Vedic University receives invitations from 11 universities in different countries to help them create a faculty of Maharishi's Vedic science and technology to teach health education, Maharishi Ayurveda, which incorporates the knowledge of perfect health for the individual and collective health for the nation, Maharishi Jyotish, Maharishi Yoga, Maharishi Gandharva Veda, Maharishi Sthapatya Veda, Maharishi Dhanurveda, Maharishi's Vedic Mathematics, Maharishi's Vedic Management, Maharishi's Vedic Economics, Maharishi's Vedic Political Science, and Maharishi's Constitution of the Universe. 2 governments sanction the establishment of Maharishi Ayurveda universities, and many other governments are completing legalities in order to grant the establishment of Maharishi Ayurveda universities in their countries. The specialty of Maharishi Ayurveda University will be to offer Ayurvedic principles and programs on the background of the entire Vedic literature, with emphasis on pulse diagnosis, Nadi Vigyan. The graduate of Maharishi Ayurveda University will be a fully enlightened individual with the ability to perform and to offer perfect health in enlightenment to the individual and the nation as a whole. Maharishi's vision of the constitution of the universe within his Aparashaya Bhashya of Rig Veda added the field of politics to his programs to create heaven on earth. This new level of knowledge promises to purify politics and raise governmental efficiency on a par with the perfect administration of the government of nature. The constitution of the universe, opening to human awareness, will promote individual life according to natural law, and will raise the dignity of the man-made constitutions of every government to the exalted level of the constitution of nature's government. Having been aware that the governments guided by man-made constitutions are not able to provide satisfactory administration, Maharishi decided to apply his Aparashaya Bhashya of Rig Veda, the knowledge of the constitution of the universe, to improve the efficiency of governments throughout the world. Maharishi's discovery of the constitution of the universe heralds the dawn of a new light, the light of natural law for all mankind. Life will now be lived more and more in accord with natural law. The increasing light of the evolutionary power of natural law will administer human life on earth. This is the beginning of ideal administration in the world. This is the new dawn of Ram Raj in the world. Maharishi's discovery of the constitution of the universe introduces the principles of administration through natural law. The development of this stage of knowledge is going to give rise to the application of this knowledge, application of the complete knowledge of natural law in the field of administration. National administrations everywhere will be supported and enriched by the nourishing power of natural law. The thought and action of individual consciousness and the activity of the collective consciousness of the nation will be guided by natural law, the constitution of the universe. The rising spirit of Ram Raj is going to bring about a quantum change in the physiology of administration in the world. The rule of decision by the ordinary, ignorant people living life in the ordinary waking state of consciousness, which is subject to overwhelming influences of changing situations and circumstances, is going to be transformed into the rule of collective decision by the enlightened living life in the enlightened waking state of consciousness, which, in its eternally balanced and steady state, is the motivator of all activity in the progressive evolutionary direction, which is characteristic of Ram Raj, the evolutionary power of natural law guiding the activity of everyone and every nation. Every government in the world will be an enlightened government, with its activity in the light of the constitution of the universe, the evolutionary power of natural law. Time is guiding life to be lived in the light of natural law. The rule of Ram Raj, is going to be a reality. Realizing that Ram Raj was forthcoming, Maharishi thought of strengthening the basis of Ram Raj, intense sattva in world consciousness, both in principle and in practice, by providing 1. a permanent setup for maintaining a strong, indomitable Daivi Shakti, enlivenment of the Devata element in the Samhita of Rig Veda, the infinite organizing power of pure knowledge, the unified field of natural law, to provide a strong foundation for Ram Raj in the world. 2. To establish Vedic universities to impart complete knowledge for everyone, to enjoy the fruit of all knowledge, so that everyone always spontaneously functions according to natural law, and the stability of Ram Raj remains unchallenged by anyone. In order to generate and maintain an invincible Daivi Shakti, Maharishi established the organization for 1,000 Ati Rudra Mahayagya to be performed every year. From this year, Maharishi's year of the constitution of the universe, the 17th year of Maharishi's age of enlightenment, the routine of the daily performance of 3 Ati Rudra Mahayagya is established to be an all-time perpetual performance. This will secure the well-being of all mankind, Ram Raj, the rule of natural law, the rule of Dharma throughout the world. Every year, from the day the Vedic calendar begins on the full moon day of Chaitra Mas, April 4th in 1992, 3 Ati Rudra Mahayagya will be performed daily by 3,993 Vedic pundits in Maharishi Nagar, India. The yearly cycle of the Vedic calendar will henceforth be known as Maharishi's Sahasrati Rudra Samvatsar, the calendar year of 1,000 Ati Rudra Mahayagya. This will not only provide a strong foundation for the establishment of Ram Raj throughout the world, but will also perpetuate Ram Raj for all future generations. This will actually be the year of the inauguration of Maharishi's Ram Raj. 1992, the year of the Constitution of the Universe, has inaugurated the dawn of Ram Raj in the world. 1992 has celebrated the light of Ram Raj. With the commencement of Sahasrati Rudra Samvatsar, the effect of Daivi Shakti rising in the world was immediately evident. On the world map, more than 1,000 places have been identified in the name of Ram, indicating the eternal presence of Ram, the rule of Ram, the rule of natural law throughout the world. This vision of Ram Raj on the world map and the vision of the constitution of Ram Raj in the field of consciousness permeating life everywhere, the discovery of the constitution of Ram Raj in Rig Veda, and the liveliness of Rig Veda in the self-referral consciousness of everyone, presents the perpetual vision of eternal Ram Raj everywhere on both levels, on the unmanifest level of eternal unity, self-referral consciousness, and on the express level of eternal diversity, the physiology of the world. This presents the picture of the eternal administration of natural law, which administers unity on one side and diversity on the other side, and administers the whole range of transformation of unity into diversity. This is the time that the eternal functioning of natural law, from unity to diversity, is dawning in human awareness. This is the time when the element of transformation is fully awake in world consciousness. It is time now for man-made constitutions to be transformed into the eternal constitution of the universe. It is time now for the rule of man-made law to be transformed into the eternal rule of cosmic law, natural law. This is the time that we clearly see the perfection of the performance of the element of transformation and how beautifully it stimulates the element of time to cooperate with it. This is the time when, on one side, complete knowledge of natural law has zoomed forth in human awareness, and, on the other side, the field of politics is losing its breath and crying for vitality. It is fortunate that the element of transformation is wide awake in nature. There is a cry for change in every nation. There is a demand for transformation. Maharishi has provided a stable basis to this phenomenon of transformation in nature. Maharishi, who always kept away from the field of politics, suddenly relaxed his reservation and introduced the absolute values of nature's government to purify national administration in every country. A political party, the Natural Law Party, was formed in England in the cool light of the full moon night, March 18th. The Natural Law Party is consequently being established In the United States, Japan, Israel, Holland, Italy, Spain, Norway, Sweden, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, Chile, Canada, and other countries, with the global trend to form the Natural Law Party in every country. The Natural Law Party is being established in response to the global demand for something new in the field of politics to improve the quality of national administration. The Natural Law Party, founded on the principle of perfect administration through natural law, is going to raise every national administration to be on a par with the cosmic administration of the government of nature, Ram Raj. This eternal reality of Ram Raj, currently zooming forth in human awareness, simultaneously at the time when Ayodhya is being reconstructed, stimulates the element of reconstruction, renewal, and complete revival of administration through natural law. It is revealing and interesting to note that the phenomenon of the reconstruction of Ayodhya coincides with the reconstruction of the system of administration throughout the world. With the rise of Ayodhya, the eternal capital of Ram Raj, the light of Ram Raj is spreading. The light of administration through natural law is reconstructing politics throughout the world. With the complete knowledge of Rig Veda, the constitution of the universe, blossoming through Maharishi's Aparasheya Bhashya of Rig Veda, the infinite organizing power of pure knowledge is rising. Ram Raj is rising. The light of pure knowledge is spreading. The field of politics is receiving a new foundation. Man-made law is rising in the light of cosmic law. The eternal constitution of the universe is starting to influence man-made constitutions. The nourishing influence of natural law is entering into the field of politics. With the rise of natural law in the field of politics, all areas of governmental concern are undergoing a quantum change in the direction of perfection, administration according to natural law, life according to natural law. Maharishi has offered programs for governments to establish alliance with nature's government and transform their problem-ridden administration into ideal administration through natural law. Maharishi has introduced the constitution of the universe into the field of politics. Natural law has started to nourish national law. Study and research in consciousness and development of higher states of consciousness into the field of education for life according to natural law. Prevention-oriented health care through Maharishi Ayurveda into the field of health. The principle of least action, Yogastha Karu Karmani, Brahma Bhavati Sarati, into the field of economics. This is bringing automation to the field of administration. Invincibility through the Maharishi effect, coherence in collective consciousness, disallowing the birth of an enemy, and victory before war in the field of defense through the invincible support of natural law. Satyame Vijayate. Wherever there is absolute alertness, there is victory. Prevention of crime and effective rehabilitation through the development of higher states of consciousness, promoting spontaneous right action in the field of law and order. Subjective approach in the field of science, transforming the intellectual understanding of natural law into the direct experience of natural law. The subjective approach of Vedic science, bringing fulfillment to the objective approach of modern science. Experience of the original revelation to restore the light of God in every religion. The wise of this generation are invited to watch how Maharishi's divine plan is unfolding for a complete transformation of life on earth, from problems and suffering to peace and happiness. Nations governed by natural law, individuals governed by natural law, life spontaneously according to natural law, heaven on earth. From this level of achievement, the goal of Maharishi's spiritual regeneration movement is at hand. Historically, it will be very revealing to see how these 35 years of Maharishi's spiritual regeneration movement have unfolded complete knowledge, and how the unfoldment of Vedic wisdom has demonstrated the practicality of life according to natural law in the world. With the rising Daivi Shakti, reconstruction of Ayodhya is proceeding, and the reconstruction of world politics, economics, religion, and social order has started. As Maharishi Vedic University is being established in Ayodhya, Simultaneously, 16 other Maharshi Vedic universities are being established throughout the world, and along with this, Maharshi's Vedic Science and Technology and Maharshi's Vedic Management are being introduced as new faculties in existing universities in many countries. It will be interesting to see through what further steps of transformation the first year of Maharshi's Sahasrati Rudra Samvatsar stimulates the unfoldment of the full potential of Ram Raj in the world. Pashyame Yoga Maishvaram, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 8. Now is the time for the world to witness the full glory of Ram Raj, to experience the full dignity of life in peace, prosperity, and happiness, with enlightenment and fulfillment in daily life. Ayodhya is being reconstructed. Ram Raj will be enjoyed by all. Truthfully, Maharshi's Ram Raj will be enjoyed by all. From Ayodhya, the eternal capital of Ram Raj, Maharshi's heaven on earth will be enjoyed by all. Maharshi Vedic University in Ayodhya, the lively custodian of Maharshi's constitution of the universe, the eternal light of Ram Raj, will illumine life on earth and maintain heaven on earth. 1993, Maharshi's year of administration through natural law, Ram Raj. Maharshi's discovery of the constitution of the universe in Rig Veda, and Rig Veda in the consciousness of everyone, and consciousness as the lively intelligence within the physiology of everyone and within every grain of creation, has identified the absolute administration of the universe. Being transcendental, this absolute ruler of the universe is the field of pure knowledge, endowed with infinite organizing power. This supreme intelligence, the total potential of all the laws of nature, is the transcendental level of intelligence of everything and everyone, which displays its infinite organizing power in the process of creation and evolution of the ever-expanding universe. In the unbounded galactic universe, our solar system, the solar empire ruled by the sun, presents a timeless model of perfect administration, the nourishing power of one supreme authority, the life-giving sun, fulfilling the requirement of evolution of everything and everyone. Exemplifying this tradition of the rule of natural law, based on the constitution of the universe, is the rule of Ram, as available in the historic rendering of Ramayana, a precious aspect of the Vedic literature. The perfection of the omnipresent rule of natural law is physically available in the administration of the life-giving sun for its vast territory of influence in the solar system. And this perfection of orderly administration is exemplified on earth in the administration of Ram, descending from the solar dynasty, Surya Vamshi, the embodiment of the constitution of the universe. In the tradition of the great ruling dynasties of the world, the cherished ideal of the rule of Ram, the administering intelligence of natural law, is the example of perfect rulership. Wherever there is a rule and ruling process, there is the ruler Ram and the rule of natural law. And this is the expression of varying degrees of rulership in different times in the infinity of time. Based on this truth, that the supreme quality of rulership has its basis in the ability to nourish all life, all the great rulers of the world and the great ruling dynasties throughout the ages took pride in identifying their rulership with the rule of Ram and attributed their strength and vitality to Ram, the embodiment of the absolute rulership of the life-giving sun. Holding high the ideal rulership of Ram through natural law, and with the desire to actualize this supreme quality of administration for every government in the world today, on 12 January, during the 3-day celebration to usher in the new year, Maharshi inaugurated his year of global administration through natural law, Ram Raj, and launched a program for natural law-based administration to uphold the theme of administration through natural law, to bring the nourishing influence of the constitution of the universe to the man-made constitution and lawmaking authority in every country. As a special feature of the transition of Maharshi's Year of the Constitution of the Universe, 1992, giving rise to Maharshi's Year of Ram Raj, Maharshi's Year of Administration through Natural Law, 1993, Jyotish Martand Brahmagya Pandit Anil R. Bhatt compared the horoscope of Raja Ram with Maharshi's horoscope and found the power of all the planets in the two horoscopes meeting in one common point. This brought to light that the underlying evolutionary power of natural law, the spirit of Ram Raj, the power of Raja Ram, has been silently guiding Maharishi's movement, naturally sustaining the sequential steps of progress and achievement year after year throughout the past 36 years, culminating on the 12th January 1993 in the establishment of global administration through natural law, Ram Raj for all mankind, for all time. Just in the first week of the first month of 1993, Maharishi celebrated the practical program to create perfect administration through natural law, where no one suffers. Ram Raj dukh kahu na vyapa. No suffering to anyone in the kingdom of Ram, from the Ramayana, Uttarakhand 21. With this inauguration, the principle of administration through natural law blossomed into a beautiful program for the world to enjoy the rule of Ram, the rule of Dharma, the rule of perfect order, Ram Raj. Maharishi's strategy to improve the quality of administration in every country is independent of governments. The formula that he established to create perfection in every country is to establish a group for a government, a group of yogic flyers for a government, a group of Vedic scientists for a government, a coherence-creating group of yogic flyers established in every country to spontaneously engage the cosmic administrators, the laws of nature, and thereby bring the support of the evolutionary power of natural law to every nation. Yogic flying is the phenomenon of enlivening fully awake transcendental consciousness within every grain of the physiology. It enlivens the potential intelligence latent within every grain of creation. It enlivens the total organizing power of the mind and puts the body under the direct command of the mind. The body functions as the mind desires, total mind-body coordination. Because this integration of mind and matter is initiated from the transcendental level of intelligence, it enlivens the unifying influence throughout the physiology of the universe. Yogic flying is the phenomenon to quietly activate and engage the transcendental level of intelligence, the self-sufficient, self-perpetuating cosmic administration of the universe, to promote a unifying influence, a unifying, integrating influence in all trends and tendencies in the environment. Tat Sanidao Varat Yaga. In the vicinity of the phenomenon of yogic flying, conflicting tendencies disappear. The unifying influence neutralizes the diversifying qualities in the area. Yoga Sutra 235. This is the yogic influence that Maharishi wishes to create in the environment of every capital city in the world. To establish a group for a government is Maharishi's program for 1993. This year is devoted to the training of large groups of yogic flyers and to establishing these groups in all countries on all continents to enable all governments to gain the support of the government of nature. 1993, the first year of Ram Raj, will apply the indomitable influence of the eternal constitution of the eternal government of nature to the man-made constitutions of every government. It is obvious that man-made constitutions and man-made laws have the limitations of the human mind and human failings. They have not demonstrated the achievement of the desired goal through the authority vested in them. This year is the beginning of a new enlightened era in administration, which will put an end to the long tradition of failure of government. This principle of creating administration through natural law, Ram Raj, throughout the world has its basis in Maharishi's Vedic science and technology, which harnesses the potential dynamics of creation and evolution latent in the transcendental level of human intelligence. The mechanics of yogic flying utilizes the infinite organizing power of this level of consciousness, establishes order and coherence in the individual brain physiology, and radiates this quality of order and coherence into the collective consciousness of the nation. This is Maharishi's gift to the world, perfection on all levels of life for everyone, which is going to establish administration in the world on par with the perfect administration of the government of the universe, Ram Raj, administration through natural law. 1994, Maharishi's year of discovery of Ved in human physiology. At the end of 1993, Dr. Tony Nader, a brilliant physician who also holds a PhD in brain and cognitive science, discovered with Maharishi's guidance and inspiration that Ved and Vedic literature are fully and completely expressed in human physiology. The same laws that construct the human mind and body are those that give a structure to the syllables, verses, chapters, and texts of the Ved and Vedic literature. Dr. Nader's research has demonstrated that the human physiology, including the DNA at its core, has the same structure and function as the holistic, self-sufficient, self-referral reality expressed in Rig Ved. The specialized components, organs, and organ systems of the human physiology, including all parts of the nervous system, match the 27 branches of the Vedic literature one-to-one, both in structure and in function. In the introduction to his new book, Human Physiology, Expression of Ved and Vedic Literature, Dr. Nader states, "This discovery has unfolded the secrets of orderly functioning of all the organs in the body, and how this order could blossom to its supreme quality, expressed as absolute order in the infinite diversity of the universe. This has opened the possibility for human existence to come to a level of that order which is sustaining the universe, and give that experience of Aham Brahmasmi, I am totality, to everyone. This discovery has rendered the study of physiology to be the actualization of the supreme philosophy of life, which establishes individual consciousness and national consciousness on the level of cosmic life. Study of physiology in terms of the structure of Ved is the revelation of our scientific age, which raises individual dignity of humans to the cosmic dignity of the universe. This great revelation shows that the evolution of life, ever since life existed, was in terms of the sequential flow of Rig Ved, and that the same laws that structure the human physiology are the laws available as impulses of speech expressed in Rig Ved and the Vedic literature. Dr. Nader's discovery means that the inner administrator of our own lives is the same as the administrator of the whole universe. Ved, the total potential of natural law, which has infinite organizing power. Our own physiology is, in fact, the Vedic literature in manifest form. Thus, to anyone who approaches us, we may say, "Thou art the Ved." And if we look to ourselves, we may say, "I am the Ved. I am the constitution of the universe." Jai Gurudev.
In the fullness of our emotions for Gurudev, it was very delightful, enjoyable, and satisfactory to review our march through these 37 years. And what is fresh now in our awareness, that all that we have done has been very well documented in the increasing steps of peace and harmony and principles that are destined to create a perfect world. This is what we have reviewed today when we were in the fullness of Guru Purnima. After Guru Puja, we reviewed through what corridor of time we have passed and through what revelations these 37 years of mankind have passed, and what we find in this statement, in this record of our activity and achievements of these 37 years, that we have well proceeded. We have very well proceeded. And now we are here from all parts of the world, and And now we will begin our planning. Again, a fresh planning. Every year we have been planning for some target. Every year we have been planning for some target. We have been actively engaged in those programs which we planned. And year after year, concluding all these years today, we find that the world has traveled through a very beautiful increasing steps of achievement, and in the same direction that perfection is now, we feel, awaiting for us. When we started this during all these years, what we have seen is that year after year we were pursuing some principles, some programs, targeting some specific level of achievement. We formed this student society, Students' Meditation Society. We formed world government to create a model for all governments. And the model that was formed, now in our reflection, we find it was so beautiful. It was the model of the government of the universe, the government through natural law having all infinite organizing power, having the ability to administer the infinite diversity of the universe in perfect silence. There we found was the ideal of administration. The administration has to be so beautifully conducted that the administrator doesn't get exhausted. That is the skill of performance. How to perform, how to administer, how to maintain in perfect security the evolution of millions of people, considering the world, billions of people with billions of tendencies, billions of tastes to have this and this and this and this. How to have all pursuits in the world so regulated that everyone gets what one desires and no one is an obstacle to anyone, no one disturbs anyone for what one desires. Satisfaction for all, progress for all. This should be the target of administration. Everyone gets what he wants, and no one fulfilling his desires comes on the way of anyone else. This is ideal administration. Administration of a society, administration of a country, administration of the family of nations should be so planned, should be so formulated that no one is a damage to anyone and everyone has the ability to fulfill what one wants. This was our ideal of administration. And having found the principles and corresponding programs to have such perfection in the individual life, in the collective life of the nation, such perfection for the administrator. This word administrator takes us through enormous, the administrator of the universe, administrator of the galaxies, administrator of the solar system, administrator of our planet Earth, administrator of different nations, within the nation, administrator of a state, of a city, of a community, of a family, administrator within the individual. All these sequentially expanding ranges of the administrator from cosmic to the individual. In nature we find all these different qualities of administrators. They are all functioning with such precision that in nature no one comes on the way of the other. Look at the enormous galactic performance, the tremendous moves of planets, of different worlds. But the order is absolute. When the universe could be run with this absolute order, why can't in our small society of one country, why can't in a small family of one city, why can't in a small family of our own family, 5, 6, 10 people, relations, friends, why can't we have that perfect order? Answering this question, in answer to this question, we search around principles and programs and we practically use them. And the record of the 37 years of our activity we have heard today has been very rewarding. So with this ground in success year after year, with profound custody of the complete knowledge of natural law. When we say complete knowledge, we mean holistic value of natural law completely known, and the individual structures within the holistic structure of natural law, the individual structures of different laws of nature fully known to us. Now Rig Veda, holistic, and all those 27 values of different aspects of Vedic literature. We have this now complete knowledge of natural law, and we see how the holistic value of natural law diversifies itself. How unity diversifies itself, and having diversified in the structure of the universe, continues to diversify in the administration of the ever-expanding universe. So unity, diversifying, reaching the limit of diversification in the ever-expanding universe. But at every stage the whole thing remains unified. This is the marvel of natural laws administration. Unity diversifying, appearing to be infinitely expanding universe, eternally expanding universe, infinitely expanding universe, all the time, but all the time remaining completely integrated. This is the ideal of administration, and this is the administration that we want to establish in the world. It was for that we had started Natural Law Party. Beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful principles and programs so simple to achieve. Just a group for a government. Just a group for a government. Just a group for a government. One group of people in their yogic flying program, one group of people functioning in their own self-interacting dynamics of consciousness. One group of people functioning in their own self-interacting dynamics of consciousness spontaneously create what we have known to be field effect, create the field effect. To amuse ourselves, we call it Maharishi effect. It's a field effect. It's a cosmic field effect. Now the individual is capable of commanding. It's such a joy to say, no? The individual is capable of commanding the process of creating field effect. This ability of the individual we want to now utilize in order that the field effect is lively every day in the national consciousness of every country. The field effect. Such a beautiful effect for the personal experience of the yogic flyers. Such a beautiful experience. Everyone says bubbling bliss. The program to open human awareness to the bubbling bliss, waves of bliss. And allowing the holistic value of natural law to inspire all the laws of nature in order to effectively perform their allotted duty. Every natural law should perform its allotted duty, and for this, every natural law has to have a very direct and very complete and unobstructed enriching influence from the holistic value of natural law. Every little natural law performing any little activity anywhere must be so full of support, of enrichment from that holistic value, that cosmic value of natural law, that no law of nature would ever lose its nourishing value, its evolutionary character. And this we have found, is completely possible in the structuring of perfection in every government. Our experience of these 2 years of natural law party have been so delightful, We gave out our plans and programs of natural law party. We'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And what we gave out, very truthfully we said, we will create a group for a government, and the effect will be that the national consciousness will become integrated, and it will remain integrated from the daily performance of this flying group of yogic flyers, which is just to create that field effect, that lively effect. We have to enliven the holistic value of natural law, and the holistic value of natural law will nourish all the laws of nature, because every law has its emergence in the holistic ocean of natural law and is always connected with it, We know from that performance of the DNA, the RNA, but RNA, as it proceeds, it's always connected with the DNA. Even when it appears as a protein, it remains connected with the DNA. And protein multiplies itself into clusters of protein grains, but they are all connected with the source. So practically, physiologically, chemically, we all know very well, this is modern science, we know very well that the natural law is always connected with the source, and it always promoting itself towards progress, that means towards the goal and goal and goal and goal. And what is the goal of any specific activity? The goal of any specific activity is to go beyond specificity to that unbounded, eternal, infinite generality. This is the goal. Point expands and expands, and the point expands and expands and expands and continues to expand till it continues to expand eternally. Ever-expanding universe, ever-expanding universe. This is natural law. Any specific natural law is a stream from the ocean of natural law. A ray of light from the sun. And it moves on and on and on and on. And it reaches infinity. Functioning on the ground of field effect. Until one ray performing within itself, self-referral dynamics, becomes the unified field. From specific means non-general, non-holistic. An individual natural law proceeds, and how long it proceeds, because it is always proceeding in complete attunement with the holistic value. There is no limit to its expansion. There is no limited range for its expansion. It continues and continues and continues. It is this that we know to be ever-expanding universe, ever-expanding universe, ever-expanding universe. We take recourse to this theme of nature, that it's always progressive, it's progressive and progressive and progressive. And what everyone wants, what we want is progress, progress, progress. This is the theme of evolution of life. Life emerges. It's like a seed, The seed swells. Sprout comes out. It expands. How long it is going to expand? It is going to expand through the whole field of diversity and begins to compactify itself and begins to compact, begins the seed again, and then again from seed to tree to seed to tree to seed. Endless procedure of evolution. Endless procedure of evolution. Total natural law compactified inside the hollowness of a seed. Banyan tree, example we said. So, hollowness. That hollowness of the seed is emptiness. How it proceeds. And how it proceeds in a very orderly manner, no matter what is the environment, no matter what happens, the mango seed sprouts into a mango tree, and mango tree grows into a mango fruit, and fruit then grows into the mango seed again. This order, where is the seat of total order? It is in this hollowness of the seed. In the hollowness of the seed. This is an expression which tells us in the hollowness of the universe. Where is the hollowness of the universe? Self-referral state of consciousness, where all diversity has settled down in the state of unity, transcendental consciousness, unbounded awareness, all hollowness, limitless hollowness, absolute nothingness, absolute abstraction. And this quality of absolute abstraction has within it the total process of evolution. The hollowness, completely endowed with the total program, total process, total activity for expression, transformation, expansion. Specificity comes from generality. It always keeps connected with the source, like that, like that. All this knowledge we know very well now in terms of the internal intelligence within the physiology. We have all these 27 values, and all are enlightened in this home of the capital of the world, we would say, as far as knowledge is concerned. All the enlightened. And now I am in the process of analyzing the basis for, again, reviewing what we have done and now what we should do. So in this process what we are seeing is the holistic value of natural law, and each emergence of each little law of nature, always connected with it, always connected with it. And this is the only way that no specific law of nature would make a mistake. If it gets disconnected from the source, it falters, and then it's no good. Order can only be perfect with this self-referral quality of any activity, self-referral quality of any mind, of any intellect, self-referral quality. So, functioning from the self-referral state of consciousness, functioning from self-referral state of consciousness, yogastha kuru karmani. This theme of perfect performance is the theme wherever performance is to be. No matter where one is performing, whether one is an economist or a physicist or a chemistry man, anywhere. This theme of specific activity to be always and always spontaneously to remain connected with the self. So this performance, this is that performance we already know. Yati nam Brahma bhavati sarthi. Yati is the self-referral state of consciousness. Yati, singularity. Single state of consciousness. Unity consciousness, transcendental consciousness, and performing from there. This is just the performance of our Siddhi program, we all know. And this being the field effect, it purifies all the negative trends in society, tendencies in society. It automatically purifies. This should be the quality of administrator. The administration, the government should be such that only, I'm emphasizing on the word only the presence of the government should inspire all right action in the whole territory. I would like the government of every country today to be a catalyst, and only a catalyst, an embodiment of peace, but so powerful in its creativity that it can inspire action. And that action which will always be evolutionary. This is the goal of the naturopathy. We want the administration to be just a catalyst. Vedic science specifies this performance of a catalyst. Words are very beautiful. Huh? Say, Maya dhyakshen prakriti suyate sacharacharam. In my presidency, my nature performs. Then there is that I-ness, and there is that my, something connected with me, my. And what is nearest to me is my own nature. But definitely there is my nature and I and my nature. So I remain silent. My nature inspires performance. And what performance? The performance that I would cherish, because it's my nature. It would perform for me. It will perform on my behalf. It's my nature. I want something. It's enough that I want. And then my nature materializes it. Maya dhyakshen, in my presidency, I have only to be there. I have only to want something, and then the nature performs. This wanting on the supreme level of the universe, we have one word for it: God, Almighty, merciful. Because He wants every aspect of His creation to be always progressive, 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 progressive. Everyone to be in the spirit of the whole universe. Everyone to live daily life in terms of the total cosmic intelligence. Everyone should have that practical emotion that I am totality. The individual is cosmic. As the situation is with natural law, so should be the experience of everyone who is expression of natural law. And now we know everyone is the expression of the Veda. Everyone's body, everyone's physiology is the expression of the Veda. So I am the Veda, that means I am all knowledge, that means I am total natural law, so I can't falter in my own status. I have to have evolution. I have to have evolution. I want more and more and more and more, more knowledge, more power, everything more and more and more and more. That is, I have to enliven my own potential. And my own potential will give me such comfort. I don't have to exert. I have only to exert in desiring. And even desiring is prohibited because a mango seed only has to grow and grow and grow spontaneously. It will grow into mango. He doesn't have to desire that I don't want to be guava and I only want to be mango and I don't want to be apple and I only want to be... No desire is there. The whole process of evolution in nature, completely spontaneous. Niyatam karma kante. Gita is very big. That is the mirror of perfection for life, no? Niyatam karma kante. Whatever is allotted duty, naturally you do it. Sahajam karma kante. Do things spontaneously. Don't have to contrive. Contriving is an effort and one gets exhausted in it. Unnatural action is exhaustive, natural action is rewarding all the time, progressive. Support of nature is there. So we have this ideal of administrator. We have this ideal of administrator within the individual. Now we know whether in the body and all that. The ideal administrator of the entire field of natural law, which expresses itself in the ever-expanding universe and maintains it in the most orderly way. We want our government in the world to be of such quality that first in itself is non-stressful. It's quite opposite to what we have today. With great aspiration, the people convince the population, you give us the time and we'll give you a good government, and good government means all progress, everything. All these little temptations of less taxation and all those things. And people, whosoever believes, and they form the government, but everyone who becomes a member of a government is so stressful in his mind, in his intellect, is completely not enjoyable. The process of governing is not enjoyable today, and even so we don't know why, motivated by what misfortunes, people aspire to become the government. It's so stressful, it's so exasperating. But nevertheless, this is because of the quality of collective consciousness, that the laws of nature have become disconnected with the source because of education. So all these things which we know to be very wrong, we want to correct. We thought, let's have the government, let's make the government, and then we got into elections, fighting elections for these 2 years. We got a lesson. What lesson we got? We got a lesson that it would have been very good if we had our government. That means we would have created this group, and the group would enliven total natural law and keep all the laws of nature well connected with the total natural law, and then total natural law will always be progressive and evolutionary to every individual in every area. This skill of performance, that every specific area of national life should always have the influence of total national life, integrated national consciousness, and the government should not have problems, and the members of the government should not have exertions, they should not get into all the mental or physical exertions. So all these different areas of education, we want to put in consciousness, education, all these health, all these, in the government we want automation in administration. And automation is the characteristic of our industrial society. Automation is the gift of scientific progress. Automation. And what automation does? It gives rest to the worker, and the machines work out. Automation in administration. We found the administrator of the universe. We found a very, very beautiful, very intelligent way to communicate to it. And to communicate to it, we only communicate to ourselves, in our self-referral consciousness. This is because we have learned that Atyanta Bhav is in the nature of Anyonya Bhav. This is the wave function of the Veda. And this is the wave function of the universe. Wave function of the universe. Wave function of the universe. The whole universe in a wave. And wave of what? Wave of the unmanifest field of self-referral consciousness, unity consciousness. Unity consciousness, unmanifest unboundedness, we know to be Atyanta Bhav. It's absolute abstraction, the vacuum state. That absolute abstraction within itself, a lively field of all possibilities. And how does it sprout into different values? So much infinitely diversified universe. How does the unified holistic value of unity state of consciousness gets into its self-referral dynamics, and how does it sprout into different specific values, that we know from our Apaurushaya Bhashya. What we have in the Apaurushaya Bhashya is each word has a gap, and a word, and a gap, and a word, and a gap, and a word, and a gap. So these gaps, the central point of the gap we know to be Atyanta Bhav. And that Atyanta Bhav we know to be in terms of Anyonya Bhav, Anyonya Bhav. So Anyonya Bhav is a wave function for structuring this next syllable. And again that Pradhansa Bhav, Atyanta Bhav, Anyonya Bhav, Prag Bhav. This is how from one quality of Anyonya Bhav to the other quality of Anyonya Bhav, third quality of Anyonya Bhav. These are all the qualities as each step of progress, each step of evolution offers. Each step of evolution offers. It creates, it spontaneously creates the state of Atyanta Bhav, and within it, it creates what should be the next stage. Anyonya Bhav, Anyonya Bhav. So many Anyonya Bhav, so many as maybe the gap in the whole expansion of the Rig Veda. And then the Rig Veda gets into all these Samveda, Yajurveda, Sarveda, all these 27 values of the Vedic literature. All this emerges from Anyonya Bhav, and so many different kinds of Anyonya Bhav. It is this Anyonya Bhav that is like the species of a mango, of an apple, of banana, species of plants, of animals, species of birds, species, human life. Different species all have their origin in the Anyonya Bhav, ultimate value, which is different in each step of evolution of the Veda. Each step of evolution of the Veda means each step of evolution of natural law, and that means from the holistic value of natural law to the individual value of natural law, it keeps on expanding. So each one has its own value, from seed to tree to fruit and seed again. The cycle of this self-referral cycle, point, infinity, point and infinity, point and infinity. The cycle of evolution continues and continues and continues and continues, indefinitely continues, but maintained in perfect order. It continues and continues. When this knowledge we have, we thought, let's make the government. Now what to make the government? There is that existing system now, and we want another kind of system. So we thought we get into the procedure of structuring a government, and the procedure of structuring a government is very fortunate these days, very fortunate, because no government is perfect, and it is thought, it was thought, not by us, but by the world, it was thought that no government can ever be perfect, and therefore create a system of change. Have a government for 4 years, bring another people, and who will bring other people? Let the whole population come. Make any party. Make any party. Whosoever has anything to offer, make a party, and see if other people accept you. They come and you make a government. So the principle of changing government from year to year, this came about on the established principle that one government will never be perfect, so it must be changed. So we have experienced throughout the world this changing of the people does not create perfection anywhere near perfection. It does not. It has failed. Because of what our analysis was, that any administration and any constitution for any administration, man-made as long as it is man-made, it will never be perfect, It will always be mingled with human failings and human failures. So this is what it was. So we thought, let everyone get within oneself and get into that constitution of the universe which is irrespective of anything on the surface. It is the same for all. Unified field, same for all, regardless of culture and differences everywhere, regardless of infinite differences. And that level of awareness has that power to make everything evolve. Everything in the right direction, always moving, evolving, and continue to evolve. There is no end to evolution. It's a never-expanding universe. So we thought the power of perfect administration, the power of perfect government in one's own self-referral consciousness. We got authenticity for this program from Vedic science, from modern science. Chemistry gave us the knowledge that there is an element which is called catalyst. It doesn't work, but inspires activity in the surrounding. This is the gift of chemistry. It regulates action without being active itself. When we knew this from chemistry, catalyst, immediately our mind went to, where is the administrator of the universe? Vishnu is said to be sleeping deep within the ocean. Always he is out of sight, somewhere in the unbounded ocean of intelligence, but he himself is the embodiment of intelligence. By virtue of him, Maya Adhyakshin, Prakriti Suyate Sacharacha. This illustration is so beautiful, huh? This illustration of the governor of the universe, this illustration of the custodian of natural law which governs the universe, always eternally silent. And that human intelligence portrays in this state of sleep. Inside he is fully awake, outside he is fully sleeping. This we have understood to be the state of cosmic consciousness or unity consciousness, of course. The self-referral state of all field of all possibilities, fountainhead of all streams of differences in the whole creation. But the fountainhead is a unified state of intelligence, fully lively within itself. So in this we found the ideal of administration. The administration should be, the government should be a catalyst. That time we want to bring to the world now in this generation. A government so powerful, so skillful, so creative, that just by virtue of it to be a government, everything will be progressive in the nation, in the territory. Nothing will go wrong for everyone, for anyone, Nothing will go wrong for anyone. Now we have the evidence during all these 37 years of our history. We have seen a year when the greatest fear of annihilation of the world due to the rivalry of these superpowers, it just fell. All preparations to destroy each other turned into a warm handshake. It didn't come about from nothing. It came about from accumulation of purifying influence in world consciousness day by day and year after year and year after year. Meditators in the world and flyers in the world, they generated that field effect. It became thicker and thicker and thicker, and thick enough to destroy the negative trends in the world, and the enmity turned into friendship. A big transformation. It was a cosmic phenomenon when the two rival nations went on a shake hand. Another very clear indication I got in this transformation of the national trend of Germany. In Germany for the last, 15, 20 years, I don't have to go into detail, but only say that the government of Germany had been opposing transcendental meditation because it was influenced by this church and all that. What the church saw that if this TM survives, then suffering will go, and then this will be the end of Christianity because nobody will suffer. So nobody has to go to church to accept his suffering, what they call, they commit, confession. So the church will not be used because nobody will do any sin, and then no confession. So they were terribly afraid. They were terrible. So, but what could we do? We had to continue our way. During this election, last election in Germany, in one province, there was that big transformation as we witnessed in the time of handshake of the rival powers. Complete upside down. The whole upsurge of national awareness went to support the natural law party and transcendental meditation and all that. How it happened? Not by any miracle. A day of transformation was evident, but that day came from so many thousands of people meditating and flying, even though due to the fear of church, they have been quietly meditating, and don't say Maharishi, don't say TM. They were even afraid to advertise in the press, and absolutely nothing like that. That was the whole national trend. And suddenly the table turned, and all this media, press, television, they all went round. Nobody knew why suddenly this change, but we knew how, very quietly. It happened from the same influence that we know to be the field effect generated by single individuals flying in their own homes, meditating in their own homes. But the transformation, these two big, huge transformations, when we see, then we know what is our direction of planning now, this year, now, what we want to do. We went into elections. I said to Jeffrey, we'll go into this election, first election in England. We said we go into it because that we can see as a shortcut to create heaven on earth. When we want to create heaven on earth, why not get into the authority if we can? Make our own government. Every government has all the resources of the nation and of the world, and they have the law-making authorities. So why not make heaven on earth from the level of authority, from the level of affluence? So we thought our entry into politics is a shortcut to our goal to create heaven on earth. We went into it. We fought elections in so many countries. What became evident to us? That people admire the principles. That much is the level of purity in the national consciousness in every country. Principles are admired. Previously, these principles of TM and all were refuted. And now the time came that there was an admiration for the principles, but no vote came in. No one voted. Admiration was there. So that was the level of purity in the national consciousness. But that was not enough. It was like a sweet grain of sugar in the mouth of an elephant. It's good enough and very satisfying for an ant, but never for an elephant. It was never enough for an elephant. So this appreciation of the people, very good principles, new principles, and people said, you are the government of future. We said, we want to be government now, because suffering is now. Very beautiful appreciation by the people, but no vote. From this we knew, we had already known before how a government functions. We had known that a government is an innocent mirror of the nation. This is how we have been defining government. Government is an innocent mirror of the nation. Now, this year, we have changed the definition of a government. That government is worth the name if it has the ability to prevent problems. Previously, we had always been excusing the governments. What we see, all these people, they give up their life, work day and night and all, but it's not their fault if they are not able to achieve the purpose of the government, a good rule, a progressive society, a disease-free society. They are not. Whatever they know, they put education, they create PhDs and all that. But if even then there are problems in the country, what they can do, they are doing all the best that they can. What else they can do? From this, we had concluded that the government is governed by the collective consciousness of the nation. Whatever is the quality of collective consciousness of the nation, and that must be the quality of governmental performance. Only according to that will be policy of government. Only according to that will be the programs of the government. Only according to that will be the success of the policies and programs. And only according to that will be the quality of administration. So this was our stand, that the government is an innocent mirror of the nation. This was verified when we became a political party, wanted to reach all the people. We were so delighted that at least we got those principles of administration, which are the principles of the administration of the whole universe. We got them. And very gratefully we announced the discovery of the constitution of the universe. And we got them in our eternal record of Rig Veda, and now we got them inside everyone's physiology. So the whole thing has been very, very profoundly satisfying to us. But it did not materialize our desire to create heaven on earth very quickly, no. But from this, we knew that the collective consciousness of every nation has to be somehow modified. The purity of the nation's consciousness, purity of national consciousness in every country has to be raised. Purity has to be raised. Because we know the principles, all our principles are scientifically validated, and they are so practical, and they are so simple to do. So much of scientific research has verified that what we are saying, what we are doing is really, really right, at the same time very simple, and it has the possibility of a huge transformation of life on earth. Enormous, huge transformation of life. No suffering, no problem, no impediment in progress, all happiness, all peace. The possibility is there. So we are satisfied. And in our satisfaction, we don't lose hope. We don't become discouraged, even though we are not getting that thing. The votes we are not getting. But we visualize that we are out on the right thing. The thing is, whatever is the system of forming a government, we can only get into that channel, we can only get into that system of forming a government, which now is through this voting. So we have to do the same thing. If it takes time, then there is no other choice. We have to get the votes of the people in order to form a government. Once we have formed government, we are in tune with the government of nature. One group we create and we are okay. But we see that this procedure of forming the government, we even hear that those who are in power, they are making more and more laws in order to make new parties more and more difficult. So, this anti-power is becoming stronger and stronger, but nevertheless, there is no other way to form a government except launching into this election thing. So when we are planning for as fast and as powerful launching of our programs to form a government, what we see is there is no other way to form a government except getting into principles. Now, into this election thing. So we have to get on to that, But we want to be successful. We want that every election should not go empty. In our planning now, what we see is one more element is needed. What element is needed from our side? What new procedure is needed from our side? That we should have a two-pronged approach. We continue our program to fight elections like that, like intelligently and all that. And we are gaining ground on that. Good people almost in every country have started to admire us more and more and more and more. One election in each country, we didn't get anything. But good people in every country came and said, please don't feel disappointed. You are so good, your principles are so pure, you are the government of future, you continue, you continue, you continue. We knew that we don't need confirmation of our goodness from others. We are already confirmed. So if someone says we are good, it doesn't add to our goodness. So it's not due to those beautiful compliments that we continued year after year, year after year, but out of our own desire to see a better world, desire to see a better world. And that we know our principles are so good, supported by modern science, supported by Vedic science, and now supported by the inner of everyone's life, Veda, inside. So what we want to plan is, we continue elections, but in order to educate the people, there are two ways with us. One, we give lectures to them, give them knowledge about it. We open universities, or we open schools, or introduce our knowledge, Vedic science and technology of consciousness in other schools. Whatever we can do, introduce our thing in the mainstream of education in every country. So we should have from kindergarten to PhD. In every country, we try to open schools, colleges, universities, everywhere, in order that this knowledge is received by the coming generation. Not one level of population, not only children, not only grown students, but more matured students, PhDs, but also workers and also retired people. So we have to educate them by opening clubs, by opening schools, all these things, opening centers of all this knowledge, everything. This is one way. But that also seems to be a long way. Such huge population. Education in every country is grounded in whatever it is grounded. It is grounded in the scientific approach. And scientific approach, as it has been coming on ever since 300-400 years ago, science started, it has been an objective approach. But objective approach has now virtually surrendered to subjective approach with all this discovery of the unified field and knowledge of the self-interacting dynamics of the unified field, all that. Physics has gotten into a field of non-physical reality. It's consciousness. Now it's a consciousness. But centuries old education based on the objective approach of gaining knowledge. All these universities, they take pride of Heidelberg University in England, in Germany, how many, 700 years or so many hundred years. They take pride in the country that we are the oldest university. But the oldest university does not get onto the newest knowledge. Unified field, self-referral intelligence was not known 700 years ago. Oldest university was all right, but its highlight was a big library. And library means not the Vedic library, not the library of natural law, but those who contributed to knowledge, objective knowledge. They wrote books and they wrote books, and all those books are said to be the treasure of knowledge. They are opinions of different people. All these huge libraries, the opinions of different people, they have the same status as the, what we call, man-made constitutions of different countries. Full of human limitations, full of human failures. And that we know from the state every government in the world is. Chaos is everywhere, dissatisfaction, problems in every country. And each country government or each country prime minister and this president, they are proud of administering the nation according to their constitution. And those constitutions are simply worthless. Worthless in the sense that they are man-made constitutions. So many laws are there. After 4 years, a new law minister comes. He doesn't know this huge pile of laws that are there. He only knows the law when some certain man comes and he complains about this or this. But all those laws, 700 years ago, they are not applicable today. They are simply not applicable today. Whatever may be the pride of all these old universities, but they are not creating young men worthy of today. Today is the time of this, we say, post-industrial era. And post-industrial era should be marked by automation. Automation in administration. Automation. This word automation in administration is applicable to all levels of administration. Natural law gives us automation. Eyes simply open and they see. Ears quietly hear. All different senses, mind, intellect, it's all automatically functioning. What is not automatically functioning is the institution of the people. Institution of the people, as far as the principles of society are concerned, is a football of situations and circumstances. It's just a football of situations and circumstances. Somewhere proud of communism, somewhere proud of capitalism, somewhere proud of no democracy, somewhere proud of monarchy, somewhere monarchical democracy. All these fanciful words, but no substance. This is because man-made concepts have been handling human society, human life, human civilization. Man-made concepts. Throughout the world is the same story. Throughout the world is the same story. We have been hearing the great new awakening in the minds of the political people in some country. Next year we are going to be democratic. And we are going to take care of affairs ourselves and all. The moment democracy comes, there are a football situations and circumstances. So the whole human life was lived by very poor human concepts. Very poor human concepts. And this continues, and it will continue as long as these universities will go by big libraries which are only a record of human concepts generation after generation, generation after generation. Somewhere the constitution was written 200 years ago, 200 years ago, or they are writing a new constitution now 2 years ago. All these write-ups of human concepts will always prove to be not so completely useful and fruitful to the nation. With change, one begins to cherish a new hope, a new hope, a new hope. Now this Prime Minister is to come, this Prime Minister to come. I'm going to give a vote for him. I like him, I like this party. The man comes. Within 6 months the media says he is creating a model. Human concepts, man-made laws, man-made constitutions, creating governments, always will have faults and failures, and each generation will live in hope for some betterment, hope for some betterment. And everyone who comes in power, what happens is, when a man is a businessman or something, industrialist or an educator or a good doctor, a good lawyer, as an individual lawyer, he makes a good name. As an individual doctor, he gets a good name, very good name. As an individual, anything, businessman, any industrialist, he employs 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people. Big companies employ 500,000 people. That in there, the director, managing director, feels so good that he is able to support 500,000 people. He feels that pride that I am good for so much. Someone who employs 1,000 people, 100 people, he feels satisfied on his own level that at least he plays a parental role for all the workers, and how nice he is giving them bonus and this, all nice things he cherishes in that. But all these don't fulfill the purpose of a government for a nation. No man-made efforts. So many ministries are there. When they can't do their thing, almost every, don't have to count the fate of ministries, different ministries. They are all on the same boat of a failing government. And all this. Environment, the big, huge fuss is made about the environment. Everywhere the environment ministry. Pollution is so much in the capitals. Pollution is so much in the thinking of the people. All those corruptions, all those, so much. But Constitution has ministries. If someone does wrong, the Constitution sends him to prison, and he comes back, and then he gets elected again somehow. Because the quality of collective consciousness of the nation sends the corresponding quality of people to form a government. The government is according to the quality of the people. They say government is what you deserve. Whatever you deserve, that is the government. What you deserve, that is the government. So, in our planning, when we have to form a government as soon as possible, then this election is one way. But we have to do something. We have to do something in order to have the national consciousness of every country to be integrated. Unless the national consciousness is integrated, the good good people, that are elected in every election, in every locality, all the people think he is the best and they give him votes. He is really a good man because he has been successful. He was a good teacher. He's a good teacher. All the teachers will vote for him. He is a good teacher. But as an individual, he is successful. He's a good businessman. He's a good banker, or he's a good industrialist, or he's a good lawyer. But as an individual, he is good because as an individual, he is only governed by the destiny of some few people in his family or friends. Just 10, 20 people in his family, or 100, 200 people in his business, or 1,000, 10,000 people in his business. He's a general manager of some big company. But his actions and his intellect is guided by only that small group. And then he is supposed to be a good man. But when he gets on to the parliament, he is not the same man who can make decisions as he liked. He was a good lawyer because he was making decisions as he wanted. His mind was free to make decisions. When he becomes a member of the parliament, he is no more a free thinker. His brain physiology is governed by the quality of collective consciousness of the nation, one side, and the collective consciousness of the whole world on the other. Every government, every parliament has two kinds of influences. One, influence of national consciousness. The other, influence of world consciousness. Every government is functioning under these two uncontrollable influences, inevitable influences. If the national consciousness is disintegrated, if the world consciousness is disintegrated, the government, the parliament, cannot function as an integrated, independent thinking parliament or lawmaking agency. It cannot. It's a different structure. It's completely a different structure. The destiny of the whole nation gets on to influence the brain functioning of every member of the parliament. The people, when they elect him because he was a very successful person. Whatever he was very kind to everyone, he was very prosperous, he was very innovative, he was very creative, he was good. In every way he is good. He was good as long as he was free to make his decisions. His decisions were found to be good. But when he, as a parliament, he is not the master of his own thought. Somebody else is influencing him to think. The collective consciousness of the nation. He is a captive of the collective consciousness of the nation. He cannot think as freely as he was thinking before. Collective conscience. He is an individual. So whatever the individual part in a nation, that much part of his thinking will be his thinking. But that will be, if the nation is 10 million, then he'll be 1/10 millionth part of the national consciousness. His individuality, who had the freedom to think, who had the freedom to make decision on his own, it doesn't belong to him, it doesn't remain with him, because 10 million times the other influence rides over his mind and he makes decision as the total collective consciousness dictates him. It's an absolute principle of administration that the government is governed silently, but definitely, concretely, even though absolutely silently, is governed, the government is governed by the collective consciousness of the nation. Government is governed by the collective consciousness of the nation. And when Natural Law Party want to create an ideal government, the procedure is to go through the election. So we'll go through the election because that is the only procedure. But to improve the collective consciousness so that the individuals of the nation would be able to choose a really proper principle of administration, which is principle through natural law, government through natural law. People should be able to vote for natural law. And for this, they must have a very unbiased, clear, balanced mind. So we are adopting to open schools of training on natural law, and we want to introduce this transcendental meditation, Siddhi program and yogic flying in all the existing streams of education in every country. That is one thing. We have been doing it last year, and we'll continue on that side also. But what I want to do new now is one thing is to educate the people. The other thing, what we have been motivated to do as the past years, we will continue that also, and that is to create the field effect, to improve the density of coherence in each country, to create a density of coherence in each country, We have been teaching TM, we have been lecturing and teaching TM, and through these political campaigns, we found a very good opportunity to spread this whole technique and whole knowledge. Through the election time, in our manifesto, we came out full. There was a time when we were thinking whether to put natural law, how to put, and this. There was a time. But our demonstrations of yogic flying, which the media in every country took up, even when we were hesitating to put it up, because we are hesitating to put up, this is new thing, strange thing. But somehow we got courageous and put ourselves into it, and now it became the enchantment of the media. They want to show something. At least they found the flyers to show something in the media. Otherwise, in the field of politics, they only had speeches.